Hello, welcome to Milkshake Funerals, NPR-like discussion of Wandavision. I said episodes 4 through 6. We've already covered episode 4, but I'm too lazy to change the banner. So we'll just say what happened in 4, and then we'll move right along.
This is Dirty Pop.
May want to try and justify top things we knew.
A WandaVision super late reaction.
Super late reaction. As always, I like to hit you with something unexpected that I did not tell you about. And I think since we like to open up with Dirty Pop, how excited are you for Justin Timberlake's new Apple movie? I'm so excited for. I don't even remember the name of it. I think it's called
Sam's Club or
Sam Palmer. Johnson was taken.
Could not be less excited and not that I'm against the film in any way, but just I have so little interest. Yeah.
I just don't care.
And I've watched a lot of his movies.
In Time?
I've watched yeah.
Man to see Frida at her finest.
It's all about exchange. It's in about 30 minutes of the movie doing like some kind of form of arm wrestling where your life is based on how much time you have injected into your body, and you exchange time. And it's just crazy. So yeah, I've watched that.
On a level of 1 to 10, 1 being
I've watched Friends with Benefits multiple times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back in
so not against Justin Timberlake, but just I don't know about this one.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being of shame, where 1 is Pat Mahomes in this recent Super Bowl, where not really your fault, versus 10 when the dog shits on your bed. Then that should be the greatest shame.
Your fault?
That's the dog's fault. And He wasn't locked in the bedroom. He was free to there's even a doggy gate. So it's just ultimate shame should be hoisted upon, even though he's still a very good boy. How ashamed should Cillian Murphy be for being in Time?
He kind of had a cool part.
Did he?
Yeah, he was all right. He's all right.
Let's
Better than his role in Tron Legacy, which I love that movie, but
that's
he kind of got there was a little bit of a bait and switch. He clearly signed on for later films and they axed it. So
yeah,
not his fault. My man can do no wrong. No, he's all right. He's like a He's like a grizzled detective.
Yeah,
it's kind of nonsensical, but he makes it work.
He's an easy villain, I guess, when they want him to be. He's
not really a villain.
Is he not? Because he's so much more fun when he's not.
He's on him, but it's like okay,
all right.
He's fighting more. He's fighting against more than just criminals.
Yeah. He says that, doesn't he?
No, but they probably did in the trailer.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, there we go. There's the curveball. So we're going to talk about WandaVision 4 to 6. Like I said, we already kind of covered 4.
Should we go straight? I'm going straight to camera a lot. I don't know if that's kind of weird.
That's very Nick Saban-esque.
Yeah, because I'm kind of locking in. I don't know.
You talking to the recruits? I don't care. There are no rules.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what we were doing here. If that's kind of a thing or not.
So, Halloween.
I like to keep eye contact while I take a sip. So
that's creepy.
Yeah, it is.
That's very creepy. So 4 was the Russo brothers looking episode.
That's right. We definitely talked about this. We talked about that for a few minutes.
Still my favorite episode so far. And yeah, we talked about the unsnap, or the blip. When people come back, blip, all I do is this. A little shout out to Key and Peele, lightning in a bottle. So that was 4, which is awesome. And we were reintroduced to two guys, a girl, and a cupcake place. Her character, she was back. Asian John Krasinski was back, and it was a really good episode. Okay, so we've talked about 4. Let's go on to 5. And what would you like to say? So 5 was the Growing Pains Full House episode.
One of the things I will note at the top. So I'm assuming this will be the way going forward, but one thing I was right off the top happy about the structure. We did go back to the sitcom stuff, but we didn't stick to sitcom. I was so happy that we've been going in and out of the bubble. Or the hex, excuse me. Yeah, we've been going in and out of the hex, which thank goodness, because, boy, I couldn't really take it if we had just stuck purely to the sitcom format. So just wanted to note that. That's a really nice choice on their part. So, yay.
Yeah. Do you think Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, when he sees that, wakes up and has, like, nightmares? Like, he's watching WandaVision, seeing people going in and out of the bubble willy-nilly.
He's like, 2 weeks quarantine. Testing.
That is a deep cut for all you NBA/WandaVision Hex fans. All right. So it was a good episode, I guess. I think what I enjoyed the most, you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong, because I will admit 5 and 6. 5, and maybe just because it's not as fresh as 6. 5 is kind of I don't want to say blur because that implies that I thought it was awesome. I just don't, other than Evan Peters showing up as her brother Pietro, a.k.a. Quicksilver, I don't remember much.
Not a lot happened. They went they still were heavy into the sitcom.
What I enjoyed about it, the main thing I remember is Vision is starting to be full Seth Rogen stepbrothers. Now the tuxedos are a little fucked up. Yeah. Like, he knows we have a problem. Because he even says, you can't control me.
She's like, that's the best moment.
Can't I?
Best moment of the episode. She rolls the credits.
Yeah.
And then they literally fall out. Once their arguing gets to a certain point, I'm assuming because she can't focus enough anymore, the credits fell apart.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Right. Yeah. And obviously a lot of people mentioned it, a very Too Many Cooks kind of feel, which was also great.
Yes.
I think all the names are people who are on the production staff of the show, so it's kind of nice.
That's cool.
Fun. Yeah.
So I thought the best thing about 5 was certainly the tension between Vision and Wanda.
And the kids is the most narratively the most interesting thing that happened.
Oh,
yeah. And I'll get to that.
Oh, get into that. Get into Sparky.
So, because I think the kids they're the end game.
That's the end game.
I think it's clearly. I mean, you look at even from the very first episode. Agnes, one of the first things she said is why don't you have any kids? Then the second episode, they're chanting for the children over and over again. I mean, there's some force at work, whether it's Wanda subconscious or otherwise, that is very eager to get these kids and to get them older, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a clear effort. Every time, 2 of the 3 times that we saw Agnes in episode 5, those kids aged up.
Yeah.
So,
you think there's a connection?
She tried to trigger it the 3rd time by killing. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that she finds the dog dead, Sparky, which is kind of a fun little deep cut from that. Can't remember the name of the series of a Vision comic.
Oh, Vision when he got his own miniseries. Yeah.
Screwed up. There's a dog, Sparky, and it has a very tragic ending there as well.
Click on comments just in case anybody says anything while we're doing this.
Let's get right mid
yeah. Oh, crickets. All right. Oh.
Okay. So I think I don't think it's a coincidence either that she made sure that she pulled the dog's body out right as Wanda and the children walked up. And it was kind of, to me, confirmed by the fact that they nearly aged up again. They were about to. Wanda stopped it.
What'd she say, Dylan? Don't age up just because you want a dog. Something to that
Don't
effect.
run from this. Oh, no, that was earlier when they did age up to become older.
Oh, don't age up because you're having trouble.
Because Vision was they need to be 10 before they can have dogs. So they became 10 years old.
Yeah.
Then later she was don't age up, which is kind of ironic. She's don't run from this grief.
Yeah, Vision not reading the room right there. Thank God he didn't be they're not you're not getting a dog until you're 30,
Yeah, so Agnes, I think, wanted them to age up, and it nearly happened, but Wanda did prevent that. So I feel like getting the kids to Young Avengers age is clearly an agenda by somebody. Somebody wants them to be teenagers, or if not, a little bit, older.
Man? That's pretty thin, Raj. You think Agnes killed the dog hoping that would trigger them to age up?
I think there's a possibility.
Can I give you my Agnes theory?
Sure, yeah.
I don't think Agnes is anybody. I think by the end of episode 6, she's just another bot with no agenda. I know there's a lot of theories because it is cat. Do you think if the actress wasn't a known actress like Catherine Hahn, do you think there'd be any of these theories that she must be somebody else?
I think it's the name that's the reason.
What's her name? Agnes.
I think because the classic character, which is Agatha Harkness, I think that is why everybody is so convinced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is basically? I don't think Mephisto is going to be involved for Disney commercial reasons. In terms of their involvement with China and the fact that China doesn't allow anything like that. God. So that's why I have very I'm skeptical of Mephisto. It's you don't bring Mephisto in to be a minor Disney Plus series character, and he sure is. I don't think he can pop up in the films. That would be a major legal headache for them. So, but she
why? Because of China?
I'm going to allow it.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be a legal headache. They just wouldn't
Well,
allow
I mean,
it.
they technically can kind of like have fought battles in the past for certain things and won.
They fought battles with China and won?
Like, they had to go back and forth on some things to...
Okay, so they negotiated. Because China's a dictatorship, so like there is not going to be
negotiate's a better term, but I mean, I'm sure lawyers were involved. That's why I said that. Yeah. So, yeah, like I think, yeah, so...
and you know, I'm on record. I don't think Mephisto will ever be introduced.
I'm very skeptical that in terms of I don't think it will either. But her whole alliance in the comics was to Mephisto. She helped manipulate Wanda to create the kids.
Okay.
And so, like, all this does line up pretty well. But what Marvel Studios is really good at is taking some of this from the comics, but then twisting it just a little bit to make it very different.
And she's dressed as a witch.
She is dressed, and like the fact I think she was faking when in episode 6 when Vision like brought her out. I don't think that was legit. I think she's fully aware all the time of what's going on. So,
you're on this Agnes train
because
hard. You're putting the
she was also the only person that far out who was actually still communicating with him. I think she was totally putting on right there. So putting on air. Anyway, so regardless of her, it almost did trigger the kids' age. Yeah. So I do think there is an agenda in some force to get them older for some reason.
Yeah.
Probably nefarious. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about the kids for now. I think it's really, they're fun too, which is cool. And they're Billy and Tommy. They rolled in episode 6. They have their powers.
I think that's the most interesting thing.
Yeah.
I come from this.
They're gonna be older by the end of this.
Oh yeah, and you think that'll roll right into the Young Avengers?
Yeah, because we know.
Is that intriguing? 2 characters in a series that have the exact same powers as 2 people we've already seen. Like, is that not just ridiculously boring?
Billy is
because I'm not disagreeing.
I find his character really cool in Young Avengers.
He's just Quicksilver,
or Wiccan.
But isn't he just Scarlet?
No, he's actually, to me, it's like a little. They depict him almost more like Doctor Strange, but kind of like he's cool. Yeah, he uses magic similar more to Doctor Strange, but I think his level of raw power is kind of like Scarlet Witch.
Because I hear this Young Avengers talk, and all I'm hearing
we already got Kate. We know for a fact Kate Bishop is there. I think Isaiah Bradley. I think there's a shot you see, or not Isaiah.
So Kate Bishop is. I mean, are they gonna? I think there's a more likely chance. Okay,
I think Elijah Bradley.
I'm about to say 2 different things. One, I think the old idea of young anything is kind of dumb. If it's just literally younger versions of the same with the exact same power set. You're saying Wiccan's different. That's cool.
Not that different.
But like Bishop is just Hawkeye.
Yeah. Elijah Bradley is Patriot. He's like Captain America.
Right. I think that works in comics. What I think is so interesting with Titans is Teen Titans. They are not really, except for the Batman element, they're not. I think one reason they work because they're not just young versions of the older dudes and dudettes with the same powers, but like. We know for a fact Haley Stein. All right, so put that to the side. The next thing is, I wonder if they'll even call them Young Avengers because Haley Steinfeld. It's Steinfeld, right?
Yeah,
I got Seinfeld on my brain.
But,
she's too old to be a
Tom Holland. So
sure,
that's always the thing. Like Spider-Man is kind of younger than normal Avengers, even though he's always.
I bet you they call them New Avengers.
Right? Yeah, because they're not going to do like the comics and have New Avengers and Mighty Avengers and then like. Mainline Avengers. Yeah, like they're not going to do all that.
Mainline Avengers.
They're not going to do
West Coast Avengers.
Yeah, I mean,
most of what we're saying right now is a real thing.
They're not going to do. You're right. Maybe New Avengers is.
Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. So I'm sorry I took us off track a little there. Keep going. We got off track talking about.
That's
the
it.
twins.
So I mean, I'll let you if you want to talk about the kids. I think it's they're very important to the story and where the story is going. So.
Yeah. Well, and another like to kind of zoom us back just for a second again, as the street racing prepares to begin outside. I do think I find a lot of I understand why Marvel sort of inflames a lot of the YouTubers.
Oh yeah,
and the theorists and the reactionaries because like.
Great.
Like, I know I put reaction in our show. I'm going to quit doing that because I don't really feel like we're just like, and you're like, oh my God, what is the color of the coat? There was something hanging out of Pietro's pocket.
There's a blur in the mirror behind Pietro.
Oh my God, blur in the mirror YouTuber who's like, what is, he's literally like, that.
This
what
is something.
This
like,
is,
well, I mean, it isn't.
Like, but it's not, man.
I I mean, in the same way that everything is something, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I think this whole thing is going to play out way more dull than people. I shouldn't say dull. I think most things are not a thing. I don't think there's giant twists coming. I think this whole thing ends with Doctor Strange basically saving her at the end. I think Vision's gone. I think the kids disappear. I think that's the end of it. And Rambo becomes Photon.
I agree with you that I've been trying to think of the right word because you said dull's not the right. I don't think it's not the right word. It's the way that they do everything. It's more grounded in reality, even though it's kind of crazy. Like they ground everything in as much of reality as possible. So, like you think about Infinity War and Endgame, things that happen in the comics are still way, way beyond the scope of what we've. Yeah. I mean, and those are amazing. And honestly, if you did anything more, it would seem comical. It would seem silly the way Aquaman was. Yeah. It was just ridiculous. It was like this crazy battle with crabs and sharks and lasers and all kinds of
Hey, those little creatures that were pretty cool. Those when he's stuck on that boat, they're getting their own movie. The trench creatures.
Oh yeah, but I mean, in the big battle at the end, where you can't even tell what the hell's happening. He's riding a sea monster.
USS Minnow was in there.
It's just ridiculous, and like that's what you don't. They're never going to do that. They're going to keep everything a little bit grounded. So. But
what do we know in Endgame? It's going to be a time ice. They're going to kill Tony Stark. Like we know it. And guess what they did? They did a time ice and they killed Tony Stark.
And as in every Avengers movie, you're going to get a big battle.
Right? There was not a twist in it other than the 5-year time jump. I
don't think everything's just going to like. There will be consequences from this. They're not going to just end this. And
the consequence is Doctor Strange madness of the multiverse.
And these kids aren't going anywhere.
No, but I think they do disappear at the end of the series. I don't mean like permanently.
Oh, okay, I agree with that. Yeah. I think it's all going to the multiverse, and some resolution will end up bringing them back as Young Avengers. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, but to your point,
I know I'm the the king of Hater Nation.
Oh yeah,
I am the king.
I 100% agree, and I think it's okay. Like they're not. It's not going to be as crazy as people think. Case in point. Pietro. Can we move on to that now?
Let's do it because that was the big thing from the end of 5.
We talked
he
about
was the co-star of 6.
5 was blue. You knew my mind was blown. I didn't think Evan Peters was going to be in it. I didn't believe any of the rumors. Didn't believe any of it. Blew my mind. They got me.
It didn't get me.
Yeah,
I told you. I think it's going to
be. I told you before episode 6. I don't think he's just Quicksilver from Fox, and I think there's a lot more evidence after episode 6.
Really,
to support that.
Break it down because I think he is.
He has now, even though he said it was fuzzy, he seems to have the memories of the Pietro that we know from the MCU.
Yeah.
So last time I know, I was getting shot laying on the ground, and then I'm hearing you calling me.
Yeah.
He did say it was fuzzy, so you could say, okay, memory manipulation, and everything he said, it could be because he's a character, because she can manipulate the characters in her show, seemed to follow more in with the Pietro that we knew, not him from Fox universe. So
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it does make sense. So what I'm thinking is it's probably like a hybrid where it's they're leveraging the buzz of having the other Quicksilver, but at the same time, it is the Quicksilver from the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Here's what I thought. You could argue that if Vision did his little voodoo thing where he touched his head and unlocked him, would he all of a sudden be talking like? Would he be like, "Oh, I'm." Like, where's, would that reveal the Fox character that we know if he, unlocked his mind, basically? Yeah. So that's fair. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think there's still a possibility he is. I've been very skeptical that they're going to, again, to me, that feels way too outlandish for Marvel Studios. So,
yeah.
And you actually kind of, I think, agree with it. They're not using him to introduce the multiverse yet. That's another reason I'm a little skeptical, because, if he is, that means he has introduced the multiverse. I just don't know yet.
If he's the Fox,
yes,
because that's the other theory. Yeah, well, not theory, but an interesting point I heard another podcaster make, who is schizophrenic about their enjoyment of the show, is that they're just going to say it's all canon, and when you try and disagree with them, they'll say multiverse, and that will end the discussion.
Which is fair. By the way, I want multiverse. I desperately want it to happen, and I would love.
Right, you and I are very different.
And I would love for him to be the Quicksilver from. I want that to be the case. I'm just a little skeptical. So,
yeah, and I don't think I am not a multiverse fan. I'm going to need to see it executed extremely well before I enjoy it, because what I think
it's a trap.
I don't think it's a trap. I just think it's like having a delicious cocktail and filling it halfway up with water, because now you can do whatever you want and you can always just say, yeah, but multiverse. Like, it's like this mulligan that you have in your pocket where you can act like you're going to do something cataclysmic or something that should have serious stakes, but then you're like, yeah, but it's just another universe, or no, we'll just pull this character in from another universe and replace the guy we just killed. Essentially making it where all serious happenings have no real consequences.
But we get to have a Loki series because of it.
Okay, well, there you go. And now we're done.
Would you rather have Loki or no Loki?
But he's not multiverse. He got pulled ahead from...
It's a different time. I mean, it has to be a separate universe.
Okay, well, all right. So
it has to be.
I am a Back to the Future time traveler. I do not recognize the thinking... The pseudo-scientific thinking of MCU smelling their own farts and acting like they're above it all. Whatever, that's fine. Anyway, Evan Peters.
They're just using like the mini worlds theory, but kind of. Right. I guess there's more to it than that. But
no, I thought Evan Peters was good.
He was great in episode 6.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was quite good. He was his character from Fox.
Yeah.
I thought. I do think we had a little. 6 was a weird episode for me. I'm finding myself the most intrigued by any time I'm seeing Vision doing something on his own.
Isn't that something you never would have thought that'd be the case?
No,
years ago.
I am, and I'll be honest. I'm done. I'm bored to tears with Scarlet Witch as a mom. And I look.
Didn't they kind of mention that at one point when she's talking to Pietro? It's like, I know it's kind of like. The mom thing, but it's nice, right?
Yeah, oh, she would say it's nice, right?
I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, and it's tough because they do have a problem,
a power problem, like they always have had.
They've got a. Here's my problem with this.
They're holding back
this show.
They have to.
I don't know what they totally want to be. They're not trying to just be a satire of chronological sitcoms. They're not just trying to do that. They're also not trying to be like a Marvel movie where there's big action or big or this or that. Okay. If you're trying to teach me, like, is this supposed to be a metaphor about grief, which it's much more about in the comics? Because if you haven't shown me anywhere near enough grief. And I don't really, I don't know. There's times when I'm just like, I just want y'all to pick a lane and drive it. Like, either like be The Leftovers, be Civil War, be like, I don't know.
Like the dangers of suppressing grief. That's kind of what's happening.
Well, I think you and I are being very generous to say that. I don't think they've earned that in this show. Do I think that's what this could be? Yeah. But
because here's the problem. I feel like the series is maybe a little out of order. Maybe that's okay, but like we don't know what led her to. I mean, she even says she doesn't know what led to this. So clearly, a trauma. Like she's been through a lot of trauma, significant trauma.
Well, exactly.
And so we haven't seen it. So
but the problem for me is like showing me like her continue to manifest new sitcoms doesn't communicate to me at all any level. What is her level of trauma? I don't know. She's just cracking jokes and it's a sitcom. Like, I guess what I'm finding myself.
I feel like Vision's been through trauma. I feel that now. Yeah.
I feel it from him.
He's getting ripped apart and like help these people. Like that was good. That was really good.
I want them to do one of two things. And who gives a shit what I want because they're Disney and they're they don't care. I want them to either lean into a bit of a Leftovers sort of vein with her and give me some meat to like care about, or I want them to go like
villain.
Or villain, or just give me some action. Give me some comic book stuff. But I don't need any more sitcom.
You're gonna get it.
Right.
Only like the last 2 episodes.
And it's boring.
So they've just like to me they wanted to play with genre and all this stuff, and they knew the last 2 episodes were going to be an MCU movie basically. Yeah.
See, I'm feeling like it's just an empty framework at this point.
Empty, interesting.
Like it's. What do we got to do? Well, no matter what, we know we can burn 15 minutes by doing a satire of a sitcom.
Mm-hmm. Knock them in the
and
middle.
Isn't that so clever? It was clever the first 2 episodes. In episode 6, when I'm still getting it significantly,
Malcolm in the Middle intro was cool.
Don't kill me. I didn't watch Malcolm in the Middle. I
watched a little. I remember it.
It was probably good. If with me and Fox, if it wasn't animated, I didn't watch it. But it lost a lot of careers. But like, I don't know, man. Like, it looks like $1 million, and I don't care if they give me like deep emotional resonance. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Then more shit needs to happen. And I guess they'd say, well, we just expand. I don't know.
I'm shocked at how much I care about Vision now, to be honest.
Me too.
And I used to I like Paul Bettany a lot, but like, I mean, Vision, like, he has those few lines in Ultron that are good, and that's pretty much it. I mean,
why haven't we gotten the "I watched you die" scene between the two of them yet? You're prototypical.
You're not gonna die. Obviously, you don't die in Mars.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's kind of wild that like an old school favorite of ours, Farscape, did an infinitely better job of a very similar plot line with a much lower budget. Right? Like, I don't need any more. Like, I'm just gonna do the talk.
I think if there's any mistake by the time you look back, and I think this will apply even by the end. If you were to look back, if there is a mistake, I think it's how they treated Wanda in this series. Even if you make her a villain because of what she's going to cause, she's not like a villain. I mean, she's not. I mean, she's not some static villain. She's an Avenger, and she's had heartbreak, and her family, her parents were killed. Her brother was killed. Vision was killed in front of her twice.
Twice.
She had to do it once. Yeah. She got turned to dust and brought back, and then a massive battle that could have ended all of existence happened, and then Avengers died. Like, she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Her family, which was the Avengers, half of them left or died.
Yeah.
So like, she's been through a lot, but like, I agree. Like, and I haven't really thought about that until now, but I want to see that. Like, I don't want to just seeing her be some villain. I don't really understand why. It's kind of like, man, like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Because they're doing it with Vision. Like, we get it. He's freaking out that he can't remember anything. He hears the term Avenger and he knows it means something, but he doesn't know what it means. Like,
I'm really trying to not be a hater on this.
Oh, it's good.
This is where they would have benefited from like going and getting. Again, I'm going to bring it out. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I'm going to keep bringing it up. Go get a couple writers from The Leftovers, because they took a character that seemingly had a tenth of the suffering that this character has been put through. And they made you feel that 10% like a weight on your chest. And what I'm afraid is they've just left, because there's some other folks that I heard they were talking about how it's so great that this ended up being the first MCU series, because it's clear that Winter Soldier and Falcon are going to be much more like bad boys, rock'em sock'em.
And you're going to like it even more,
right?
You're going to.
It's okay. Like,
if you care about Marvel Studio stuff, you're going to love it,
right?
I mean, it's just the deal.
But like them saying it's so great they did this first to kind of like do something at a lower volume. Well, I would just totally disagree.
And they didn't do it on purpose.
On what? Well, they didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
I would disagree about the volume. Like, what? Well, people keep want to act like this is like genre flipping or ground. It's not. They're doing a Saturday Night Live skit of sitcoms. That's all they're doing. It's not like overly clever. And I'm saying this because we're through episode 6.
Yeah. And
not much has happened.
And here's the thing. None of that's going to matter once the main plot is revealed.
No.
That's the problem. None of the sitcom stuff is really going to be that relevant. I don't think. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they think it's some really clever way to like tie this into a bigger plot. I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah.
If they did, then cool. I'd love to be wrong. But it feels to me like by the time we get to the end point, the sitcom's not going to matter. So if that's the case, then it's, it's at least to be considered.
Why haven't we been given some insight in her thinking of why she is like, I look, as someone who has written, I can tell you, I can venture a guess, she's doing this because it's the prototypical nuclear ideal family, and those are often represented in sitcoms, and that's why she's doing it. Can we get some insight into what she's thinking, other than just being a malfunctioning, superpowered Stepford wife?
Every time we start to get there, they move away from it,
and it's just like, you are trying to mess with my, like, her accent will pop in for a second, which that was a great joke about where's your accent, where's yours.
Yeah.
That was the best line maybe of the series, which was like a wink and a nod to everybody that criticizes why she doesn't have her Sokovian accent anymore.
Which is totally okay. We don't need to hear it.
I don't give a shit. She has a Sokovia. Sokovia is not even real.
Yeah, we don't need the accent.
We could have done without it to begin with.
Yes.
Because her brother in Ultron is talking with a Russian accent. Didn't see that coming, did you? He should have talked to his agent about what they didn't see coming. But like, yeah, it's boy, I'm much more negative than I intended to be. I'm starting as I'm talking.
Tend to always be there. That's
like there's another show I would love to talk about, Servant, that I think about all week. WandaVision. My main concern with WandaVision is muting people on Twitter just to avoid some spoilers. That's it. Like my expectations, I don't know.
I'm actually not worried about spoilers anymore because not that much happens every episode. So
bingo.
I don't really worry about it. And look, it's okay. I like watching. I actually enjoyed it. I laughed with Evan Peters.
Yeah.
He was wild. Like he was just hitting the one-liners.
And I love Halloween episodes. Like,
which is another smart. They're so clever in knowing how to deploy these things to make what they're doing as good as it can be. But there's still a limit. There's a ceiling to how good this content can be. But like when Vision, man, when he's trying to burst out of that shell, that was just that was amazing.
That was cool.
He was being, and then her expansion of the Hex, and of course we couldn't get that acting director in that damn Hex.
Well, and this is
plot armor.
I think.
And poor Darcy, she got got.
So fudge.
Oh, whoops! Spoiler. We didn't do spoiler alert.
Well, it's a reaction show.
Spoiler. Sorry.
Spoiler. No, retract. It's a reaction show. So, to me, it's going to be WandaVision : missed opportunities, and another one. We did not need another stereotypical government asshole semi-villain, which is, he's Ritter from fucking.
Now, do you think if they did a little more, because they kind of gave a little insight into him, like, is there a possibility, even though he's going down the wrong road, his line about like you don't know what it was like?
Oh,
like,
I guess I shouldn't call him villain. I like him, and
could you take that far enough where you almost can sympathize with him a little bit? Like, is that even possible at this point?
My only problem is, and I actually shouldn't say he's a villain. I don't view him as a villain.
He seems like
I view him as a doing his job, but he's a little short-sighted. Like, I understand trying to take her out.
Yeah, actually, in retrospect, now I'm like, okay.
Yeah, those people are suffering, and she kidnapped the whole town.
Like, I thought it was bad in the moment, but now I'm kind of like, well,
yeah. Well, and she has no inkling of giving them up. None.
She brought more in.
Which begs the question: if she's so powerful, why can't she just create fake people? But whatever. Well,
that's still what's up for debate. Is she manifesting? Things, or
they're real. Those people are real inside the Hex.
But it's because she's encompassed people who are present.
Right. What I'm saying, she's so powerful. Like she manifested. Well, where did Evan Peters come from? That's one.
And so everybody's saying, where did he come? Where did the kids come from? That's the big question.
Right. Yeah. Because Vision, she had the body. The people, she had them.
The kids seem real.
Yeah.
So
what we've got.
Like, there's some cool mysteries still at play. So
yeah. I'm sorry, you had a bunch more notes. Let's do rapid fire, and I'll shut up for a minute.
The popsicle thing is worth saying. I disagree. Everybody's like, the popsicle man, he could see that he was dead, which we
explain the popsicle thing.
And when Evan Peters shows up in episode 5, he goes, "Who's the popsicle?" I think it's more of the joke about him seeing like he's got a stick up his butt. If you are very familiar with The Office, Nate pointed this out when the warehouse people. He said he was talking to Daryl and Val, and I think Val mentions about the popsicles upstairs.
Yeah.
Nate reveals that he thought it was because they were all so rich they could eat popsicles whenever they want, which is just brilliant writing. And then Val reveals no, it's because they all have sticks up their butts. So, and Vision was very he had a very British moment and being very haughty. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Incredulous at the arrival of this new guy. Yeah. Who is this one? And I think he was just because that's kind of what he likes to chop it up. So he's like, "Who's the popsicle?" I think that's what that was to me, which is good because like not everything has to be something secret. Right. Like not everything is a line where you got to pick it apart. Sometimes it's just fun for the sake of fun. There's no more to. I really just want to talk about The Office for a minute, and that's the main reason I want to get into that. So
it's always
moving on.
Talk.
Here's a cool one. I think it's kind of come up a little bit. Like Wanda seems wildly even more powerful. Like sure, she was powerful then. They did the thing which,
as they said, she could have taken.
I still don't. You actually said maybe there was a briefing. I guess. I find that a little weird. Well, Captain Marvel, like, how do y'all know? Anyway, okay, I'm not going to get into that.
They live streamed it. They live streamed.
They were just back and chaos was ensuing across the planet.
Yeah.
But okay. So she seems wildly more powerful than she was. And there are a lot of reasons that could be. I want to bring up one thing that's interesting, though. So she was brought back like everybody else in the blip. And then the Stark snap happened. So
did you say that the Stark?
Man, didn't we? The Stark? Yeah,
I don't know. All it do is this.
Knowing that, the way Rocket had established is that there was a tremendous amount of energy that's expelled when that snap goes. Could her powers have been enhanced somehow? Or, like, could her mutant gene have been activated that, like, makes her powers even, like, wildly uncontrollable from that snap? That's something interesting that no one's, they haven't spored, and maybe we won't find out why. But
as the long ruling emperor of Hater Nation, they just do whatever the hell they want with her power set whenever they feel the need to.
But it is interesting because she's way, way more powerful than she's been ever.
Is she? She nearly killed Thanos.
Her levitation power.
She was crushing him with telekinesis and like.
But even
she controlled.
Quicksilver noted in this episode, like, you've come a long way from, giving people nightmares. And
he missed the battle. Yeah, I guess. Oh, another thing. Was it 5 though? They were like. I just can't. I do want you to keep going through your notes, but them calling out stuff about the battle in Endgame, because he said, "Well, Captain Marvel almost got." Some would argue, like, guys, you're getting a little too meta.
Yeah, just like you're one of us, like you're part of the audience.
Yeah. All right, sorry, keep going.
So I just thought that's interesting.
You think her power set's been way ratcheted up? I
still think they should use that somehow. The fact that even once everybody was back, there was another snap. I mean, the people on Earth have been bathed in this cosmic radiation at this point from multiple snaps. Yeah. So I think that's pretty interesting. And like you said, we probably won't ever. I doubt it'll have anything to do with it. It's a fun little theory that I haven't really heard too many people talk about, if anybody, actually. Okay, so let's do some potential continuity breaking? Question mark. I always put question mark away. I can say anything I want.
Delay the.
So we saw at the end of episode 5, Wanda with just a kick-ass move, flipped all those soldiers of the acting director. I can't remember. I just keep calling him acting director.
Yeah, acting director. Can we call him Ritter, please?
Sure, Ritter.
Yes!
Acting director Ritter. She flipped all those guys on him, which was just so cool. And just like flipped her hand and walked off. I was like, damn, that's pretty baller. So she can control minds en masse.
Yeah. Oh, do this thing. I like when you do this thing.
So couldn't she have just done this at the battle in Endgame? The thousands of mindless drones in Thanos' army. By the way, we know Chitauri already like literally controlled remote control based on the first Avengers film. When the ship goes, they all just fall over.
Yeah.
Could she not have just like flipped all those minds against Thanos?
Could she not have flipped Thanos' mind?
So I would give you Thanos. Probably not him. Probably not, I'll give you the Black Order. Wow. Maybe you can't flip them either.
You can flip Ritter. Well, she hasn't yet. All right,
soldiers. She flipped soldiers.
What about the people on the ship controlling the ship?
Right. I mean,
shoot all missiles at Thanos.
I mean, she very easily controlled those group of soldiers. Not like that she was exerting any effort whatsoever. So I just think that's interesting.
Well, this is where
could she have done that? Probably.
This is where they're very comic booky, and this happens in comics all the time, where it's like
Deus Ex kind of deal.
Yeah, where it's like, and I thought The Ringer did a good job on one of their podcasts talking about. You almost got to view it as when you're looking at comics and where's the consistency. You can't look at it that way. You have to look at it like each generation has a time to play with these toys, and then they do their thing, and then it's time for the next generation, and they don't have to respect everything. Yeah,
that's fair. It's totally fair.
And I think that another good point they made is Marvel is like, we're making comics into screen, and I think they're bringing that sensibility.
They're pushing. I think you're going to see more and more than push comic representation
because there's about a billion different ways that in game not okay. No, it should have been like there's like a billion ways that could have gone that didn't involve martyrdom. So keep going.
Anyway, I know it's super. It's kind of nitpicky. To me, it's fun. It's fun to think. I think that sort of thing is really fun to think.
Would you
about.
Embrace the hate already? God.
No, I don't hate. It's kind of like she could have just gone whoop, and then the whole army just collapsed on Thanos.
Bingo. Roll credits. Everybody happy. Even Captain.
So yeah,
Joe
like
Biden,
maybe she didn't know she had the power. Again, this goes.
Come on,
But this goes back.
She ain't Goku.
The one thing
man.
I would say, this goes back to my idea about the snap. Maybe the Stark snap is what really elevated her power. So that happened after all that. So yeah, was there anything else? Oh, this is a good one. Why do you think the sword alarm sounded right when Pietro arrived at Wanda's house?
Because he came from outside the bubble,
right?
Which makes no sense.
Because we heard it that previously in the episode when she left the bubble. So, yeah,
that's the most singular, intriguing thing that has happened in 6 episodes,
and it was no one even called attention to it, but people have noticed.
So that is where even me, who I think most of this stuff is horse shit, and it's going to be the most. What's the Occam's razor? The most simple.
All things being equal, the simplest answer. Yeah.
What is it? And to combine, what is it? Was it Martin Luther King that said the period of time, the arc tends toward justice. Whatever. I shouldn't, but I guess what I'm trying to say is in MCU, the arc of plot tends to gravitate towards the most simple thing that could happen. So
which is good for probably filmmaking.
But like,
why Martin Luther's so good?
It's the most. That is the only thing in all of this, other than maybe where did the kids come from?
Cool mystery
that I am so intrigued about.
And what's crazy, it was such a subtle detail that not that it was an alarm, but like we didn't really. No one in the show has mentioned it, and I think that's such a It's a good way. Yeah, it's a really cool thing that's still just very prominent to me. Like, what is going on?
Yeah,
and it just plays into I think more what happened in episode 6. He is not exactly as he seems. No matter what the answer is, he's not exactly what anybody thinks he is. I think no matter what. So
no,
that's really cool. And just Evan Peters is fun. So good job by them. It's so easy. It's like we've been saying. They've already got these characters. You got Fox now. Just do it. Do it already.
I don't know what they're waiting on. I really don't.
Why have I not seen Wolverine?
Why have I not? I should have seen Wolverine 100 times by now. I should. And Fantastic Four's coming up. Okay, I'm still not. You know me.
I grew up an X-Men. I'm sorry for Dr. Doom, but that's about it. So did you have anything else you want to talk about the episode? Before we stop, I want to talk a little bit about the Falcon Winter Soldier trailer from the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'd love to talk of little else.
Yeah. So is there anything else you wanted to note from WandaVision?
7, 8. We got 4 more episodes. Let's.
I feel like I've been hearing people say 9 now. I thought there were 10, but I feel like, which I'm probably okay with.
Whatever. I'm not even going to Google it. That's fine. If we've got more, I'm ready to get on to the next thing. I've spent enough time at Westview. I've spent more than enough time at Westview to last me a lifetime. Okay. I have, and this is the sign of a just okay show. I'm feeling the runtime. We're through 6, and I feel like we're through 6.
Well, you made this point early. Like, we're how many hours in now?
Oh gosh, 6 times 3.
3 hours. That's Endgame. We're talking Endgame amount of, and that movie. 3 hours.
And you talk
like a snap,
right? Nice. Well, but then you talk about another show like Servant, which we may talk about later on a separate show that nobody's watching because it's on Apple Plus, and I'm well into season 2. I feel like I've watched it for 10 minutes.
Just gobble it up.
It's just delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, I need more. I want more of it. And there's no superpowers mostly at stake. It much like this show, it takes place, actually even more so than this show, it takes place in a house mostly. Like nearly every show's in a house. Anyway, all right, I don't want to jump. Yes, talk about the trailer. The trailer kicked ass.
So we're done with WandaVision.
We're done. We're done with 6. Yeah,
boom,
we'll probably won't see y'all again until the series wraps up.
I wait.
Yeah.
We're not really doing just straight reaction.
No, I want to get into, I want to talk about the little things and Wonder Woman 1984, terrible things.
So you can really let that hate out of your heart.
Oh God, I'm gonna drench it. I'm gonna burn.
You can give that the treatment that I gave Marriage Story.
Yes.
So
vicious.
So give me your thoughts. Hit me.
Let's get it on, man. Let's. I'm gonna try and control my language a little bit. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to run through a wall.
Rock.
I'll watch that trailer. I'm ready to kick some ass. Bucky's underneath a truck. Falcon is smarting off to him.
little girl kicks your ass.
That little girl kicked your ass.
He said, ah.
I mean, I cannot wait. I mean, you know, this was the show I was the most looking forward to out of all of them.
The one I had probably no expectations for is probably my next. I mean, Loki. I'm super psyched for Loki.
I'm very excited.
I didn't initially. I mean, before the trailer, I had no idea, but
yeah.
it's gonna be amazing.
Well,
but Falcon is the one we thought we were both super excited for, and I'm still super beyond excited for it. We started seeing in Civil War this two. They got chemistry.
We said in Civil War, they're sitting in that car, and Bucky says, "Could you move your chair up?" And he said, "No."
He slides over.
Yeah. Like and we were like,
too.
give them at that time a movie. Of course, now give them a show that's going to look like a movie.
You get real. I mean, we're getting for real Zemo, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah.
Vicious. He's not like got some crazy plan that really makes no sense of how it pulled off. Like he's coming after heroes, which is like, good. Like that's his thing.
And I got news for you, man.
We're going to Madripoor, which is cool.
Yes. If you're wanting like Terrence Malick,
which was something that was mentioned in reference to WandaVision, right?
Or
comparing the shows,
or just even they're just trying to take pot shots. Like
what are we
doing?
Goodfellas,
if you want, look, man, don't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Go watch Third Day again. If you just want to
watch Third Day, scroll like I did for 30 minutes through the 12 hours of live theater they essentially did, which they lied. You do need to, if you're going to watch a show called, what's it called?
Third Day?
Third Day. If you're going to watch Third Day, you actually do need to watch the 12-hour live Facebook event they did.
The second 3 episodes made no sense without
it. You need to watch it.
They didn't make, they made a lot less sense.
Maybe someday we'll get back to that. But like, if you want a think piece, if you want to watch This Boy's Life, or whatever the hell that movie was called, go do it, man. Then Falcon and Winter Soldier, you don't even have to show up and then talk shit later, because I'm telling you right now, it's not for you.
But what I don't like is people cover, because they know that it's got a huge audience and it brings listeners, but they don't want to they don't want to talk about it, they don't like it, but they're gonna always cover Marvel, because guess what? It's one of the biggest things in media now. So that's basically what you're getting at.
Like
right?
Mandalorian, was never going to give Baby Yoda cancer to have to watch a father's journey for dealing with an infant having cancer, and that's okay. Like, get over it. Know what you're watching. If you don't like it,
cute little human things.
Right. That's all I need him to do. I need him to steal some kids' macaroons.
And eat some living beings.
I need to see some people flying around and some shit exploding. Like, that's okay. And yes, there can be some moments. And I'm okay if you want to have more of those moments. But what I'm not going to do is come into a show. Sorry, I'm getting on a diatribe on this. But, man, these critics. I'm not going to come into Falcon and Winter Soldier with a Scorsese attitude.
See, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get them. One of my absolute, look, I love the big set pieces and the action. My favorite thing in the Marvel movies is it's the character moments. That's what we all love.
That's what carried Endgame.
It's Cap and Tony reconciling, and it's
Nebula.
When in Civil War, you seem a little on edge. It's been a long day. I mean, like that little the exchanges.
It's Nebula.
It goes to when Black Widow and Hulk are having a conversation in Clint's house about why they can't have kids. No, I'm kidding. That's not.
No, we don't know. We
don't want to talk about that.
Oh God. Boy, that's Joss Whedon looking real bad. Especially
it's it's Thor talking to Hulk about. Both,
hot-headed fools.
Yeah, I mean, like that's why we love these movies.
Nebula War Machine might be the best funny scene in Endgame, where it's like they're staring at Peter Quill dancing.
He's an idiot.
Oh, he an idiot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
amazing.
I want to see her in.
Yeah.
Can we put her in everything? By the way. Jesus.
I'll give
you think you're slowing down, kids.
Yeah. So, like, I guess I would just say, like, I want to get ahead of this, because it seems like the critics. Some of the people who talk about French auteur cinema, I don't come.
Quote Ryan George, what are we doing?
Right. Like, I don't show it up at the Berlin Film Festival demanding to know, where is my Zack Snyder treatment of a cyborg standalone film? So you don't need to come over here and want to know why we're not exploring more geopolitical veins on imperialism and what it means to.
Because I think you're gonna get some stuff that's probably
you actually are going to get some stuff about.
You're going to get this guy who's this. You're going to get U.S. Agent, and there are a lot of implications there. You're going to get Isaiah Bradley, and you're going. I think they've already said you're going to see stuff about what they did to black soldiers post World War II, maybe, or like experimentation on trying to replicate the super soldier serum.
Yeah,
you're going to get a lot of.
They're going to explore jingoism. They actually are probably going to explore. No doubt, no, they are going to explore imperialism because newsflash for the assholes that want to talk shit about most of these Marvel movies, the main impetus for the Civil War villain is fucking imperialism. Because the Avengers represent in a large way the developed world, okay? Imposing their way and basically making a wartime plaything of third world countries. And this dude's going to do something about it. So, man, just... It's okay. We can have some nice set pieces. You don't have to talk shit about it from a critical perspective. Anyway, sorry, man. I'm fired up, but I'm extremely excited for this show.
Man, we just got to that minute 45. I wish we waited too long.
No, I think we did.
Well, this is why I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think everything from their staring contests. It's just those two. You're going to get just wonderful stuff. I can't wait to see them they're going to be spending time with Zemo, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for the U.S. Agent storyline. Just because I want to see what the effect, because to me, that's where you're going to get the stuff that I want. I want to see the effects of Endgame, the things that are playing out on the rest of the world from everything that's happened up to this point. And I think we're going to get some of that. I don't know how I feel about, I think they're maybe going to try to set up Thunderbolts a little bit with some of these characters, which maybe that's cool, maybe it's not. So there might be, I think you'll probably see some tie-ins potentially to Shang-Chi, which is kind of maybe cool.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, so couldn't be more excited about that. Love the trailer. Watched it a bunch already.
Yep. That's all I got.
That's in a month or so. Is that right?
Oh,
is it March?
Cannot wait.
Toward the end of March?
Man. Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, also, last thing. Sorry. They're getting to a point. Their pipeline is going to start to fill up a little bit. What are they going to do about Black Widow?
Well, hang on. I completely agree with media member. Oh my god! I want to make sure.
I've said they missed it. They should have released it last June on Disney Plus. They screwed up so badly.
Raven Brunner, if I'm misspelling it, mispronouncing it, great, fun little Twitter follow. She's been saying now for a while, and I agree. It's time to put it on Disney Plus, guys. Yeah. It's just time. It's just time.
The Eaters aren't coming back anytime soon.
They're not coming back anytime soon. Man.
I don't know what they think they're going to do about Eternals and. They've got other movies that are planning on coming out this year again. I got news for them. It's not gonna be much better. So yeah. Anyway,
and someone shout out to Evan Winburn. We need to get y'all some Grizz swag. Well, tell you what, buddy, you send us some free Grizz swag, and it will show up on a podcast.
I'm a front runner, Warriors.
Well, you're not a front runner anymore,
now, right?
no.
Yeah.
Well, people are going to hate on me because I am a Lakers fan first and have been since I was 5, but I love the Warriors. Steph,
so we're
Warriors tonight. We're going to get off here because this game's about to get going, and I got to lose some money. Last thing I want to say, unrelated, please watch the show Warrior on HBO Max. Stream it. And a lot of you folks who complain about lack of representation, even more reason, it is a nearly completely Asian cast. It's dealing with themes and storylines that are 1,000% applicable today. So
post-Civil War immigration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take a look at it. Warrior on not the movie Warrior, which is great,
awesome fighting.
Oh my God. Yeah, Warrior, HBO Max, stream it. Set aside some time, you're not able to stop. That's it. Adios.
Having a peace.
Peace.